Today we're off to do some errands. I want to go to the West Barnstable Feed and Grain, which is where I go, one of the places I go to get feed for the chickens and bedding and things for the quail. So I thought we'd head off and do that today as a quick little errand. And I wanted to take you with me so that I could show you the fun animals that they keep there. And I might stop at the antique place on the way back, but I'm not sure if I'll have time to film it. So let's head off and get some chicken supplies. Here we are at the West Barnstable Feed and Pet, and I just really wanted to share the fun animals that they keep here. They have some fun goats, a plethora of chickens, different breeds, and they also have some beautiful peacocks. I thought it was funny how the goat, which you'll see as I turn around here, how there's a goat in the little igloo down there. Now about this place, is the owner's, actually the owner is a veterinarian, and her father is the sweetest, kindest gentleman, and he loves animals, and many of these animals here are actually rescue animals. He's so good about rescuing chickens and poultry and bunnies and things from people who no longer can keep them, and then he keeps them here and they take great care of them, and it's also a fun draw for people to come and see. And it's just, I know when I go to get, this is one of a couple places I go to get chicken feed. As I said, I try to kind of go to a few local places just because it's fun to stop and look at the animals. Now here are there 4 peacocks, and it's 2 peacocks and 2 peahens, and one of the peacocks is an albino, and one is the traditional Indian blue. Unfortunately, in our area, we mainly have to keep our peacocks secluded or sequestered in pens because we have so many coyote and fox that they're often open to being attacked. Oh, this funny little rooster was so sweet, and he would just keep coming up to me. He wanted treats so bad, but unfortunately, they do have signs that say, please don't feed them things from outside the pen, just because they try to keep an eye on their diet. But he was so sweet. He really, really wanted to treats, but he was still fun to look at and to film. Now, the peacocks are actually somewhat a little bit more timid, but I find, at least myself, I've always had such a connection with animals that after a while, even the most timid animal usually find their way to me. And isn't this albino peacock really beautiful? In some ways, you'd almost think it's a shame to have a beautiful peacock stripped of its colors, but when you really look at them, they're almost like a bit of porcelain come to life, a statue come to life. And both this peacock and the Indian blue peacock in the background, they normally would have big, full feather tails, but this time of the year, they seem to molt them out quickly. You can see they have some new starting to form in the back. But I think it's just because our New England weather changes so quickly from warm to cool autumn in a matter of a few days that it kind of triggers their molting. But anyway, I just love stopping here just to, well, both to get the supplies I need and also to look at what pets they have. They also rescue bunnies and things. So here, if you look this way, you can see it's a traditional kind of grain elevator where you can come and get feed for horses and cattle, as well as other things. And then as you look away from the building, here's where they have their pen. All right, let's go up the ramp, and I didn't film a lot in here, so just basically to show you, this is one of the stops I like to make on a day. Go out and get feed and bedding for the birds and have a little browsy look around. I've always, my whole life, have been in love with animals, so even as a small child, it was always a treat for me to get to go to pet shops or to grain elevators or places where they sell feed, just because I've always been fascinated by keeping animals and all the things all the accoutrement that goes with keeping animals. And here they have a pretty good collection of all kinds of poultry things. I've tried many of them. Trying to go slowly, so I'm not really sure how interested some may be, but I know some are also sort of in lockdown, and having the ability to just sort of browse around any shop seems nice. I love the galvanized feeders and waterers, so I need to get a new one at some point. And they have fairly good prices here, actually. I do sometimes go to Tractor Supply, which is a chain, and sometimes I find that these local places will have better prices on certain things, like heat lamps and heat bulbs, things like that for my chicks are good. And I actually have a set of quail eggs currently in the incubator now, so if those hatch from my own quail, I'll be happy to share those in a future vlog. They also mix their own birdseed here, so they have quite a few different varieties of mixes that I try to see which works best for our birds. And they sell crickets for people who keep animals that eat crickets, and all kinds of pet things, even things like hermit crabs. They don't keep fish though. I do wish they had aquarium fish. So yes, just a quick little browsy around and just to kind of share a day's outing in case you are trapped inside. So there you go, a fun little outing to one of the places I like to get feed for the chicken and quail. Good day everyone. This motley collection of things is because I went to the another place I'm going to share just a quick little snippet of it, the Barnesville Feed Pet and Supply in West Barnesville, where I go sometimes to get chicken feed and such. And because it was on the way past the other little cancer thrift place I took you before, I had to stop and I bought these pair. And I have this here to put water in because I'm going to use them for my paper whites. And I just thought, without even realizing it, for some reason this sort of goldy ochre yellow, I don't know why, I'm usually not drawn to it that much, but I bought these without thinking about how cute this is with it. So this is going to be our water to put in. This is the soil. These are the paper whites. But I bought these were sold as a pair at the thrift, but really I think they're obviously the same manufacturer, but I don't think they are a pair. They're sold as a pair of quail. This obviously is a quail, which is one of the reasons I was so drawn to it, because I keep quail. I love quail, and this actually makes me think so much of my sweet quail. This, however, obviously made by the same manufacturer with similar painting, to me looks very much like a peacock. That just happens to be a demonstration of this, or maybe it's a woodcock or a grouse or something, but it looks like a peacock that just happens to be painted in the same colorway. Now this little lady will not have plants in it, because when you take her head off she just becomes an odd bowl. But she's going to sit next to this little gentleman here, and he is going to have the paper whites in. This was from the cancer thrift because this was on the way to the Barnesville Feed and Supply. And whilst I was there, I bought feed for the birds, I bought obviously feed for the chickens, and I also purchased bedding and such. But they had Christmas things there, and I couldn't resist this little galvanized chicken. So I purchased this little person, and I think, now normally my first inclination was to put it on the bird tree, but I'm not sure about the bird tree this year because I think it might be a mixture of animals. But I think this is going to Old Kings because I really want galvanized, the pickup truck, the very natural woods, reds and golds for that. So I think this little rooster is going to end up at Old Kings when we decorate there, which hopefully will be on Sunday's vlog. I'm not sure. This Thursday when I post is our Thanksgiving Day, and even though we aren't allowed to have a big gathering, we actually may be doing a Zoom Thanksgiving, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be having a video that day, so we'll see. But anyway, I thought today we would just use this fellow here, and I just have, now some avid gardeners who are probably much better gardeners than I do might disagree with this, but I tend to use seed starting mix as opposed to potting soil to do my paper whites, because it's much looser and freer, and sometimes, as in this case, I'm putting it in something that doesn't have drain holes, so I'm going to be adding water to it, and I feel like this allows it to drain a little bit better. However, paper whites, you only have them for a few weeks, and they bloom, and I've even bloomed paper whites in a glass jar with just water. I think I've already put too much in here. So I'm sure there are much wiser people than I who can say in the comments the better way to do paper whites, but this is how I do mine sometimes. And these are the paper whites I bought at the Scenic Roots and Sandwich the other day. So see how they have their little roots, and they're already starting to blossom. This will probably only hold, I'm thinking I probably can get 3 in this one, and then I have many more paper whites, which I'll put in other containers. And then I'll have these on a little display, which I'll share at some point when everything's blooming. I think I can get away with that. In this way, there's just a tiny bit of soil around where the roots are. And again, this is the seed starting mix, so it's much finer. And then I just make sure the roots are touching the water. And then I will add water. But again, paper whites are so forgiving, and you just bloom them for the blooms, and then you either save them, or sometimes I've tried putting them in the garden, but not with much success. I might try them this year though, or this coming spring. So this will be like this. I'm not sure, maybe I'll display this somehow. This might be creepy to have it there. Maybe I'll just set this in the cabinet till after Christmas. But don't you think those two look sweet together? And while we're at it, we might as well add the water with our sweet little Wipe his nose. We might as well add the water with our punchinello jug. And then I'll just keep an eye on this. I don't want it to get too waterlogged, although as I said, I have planted these in bulb bowls where you literally have them sit in water. And I forgot to mention the other day when I got this that this punchinello, which does read punch on the bottom, made in England, and it's falconware. So I need to find out more about falconware. If other people do know about falconware in the comments, let me know. Hopefully that is focusing. So I'm quite interested now in falconware, so I'm going to look up that some more. So I hope you enjoyed. This is not a very long vlog today, but I thought it would be fun just to take you so you could see the animals at the West Barnstable feed and supply place that I get to look at when I go and get chicken feed. And then of course I couldn't resist the little galvanized rooster for the tree at Old Kings, and then the lovely set of quail, we'll call them, to put with my decoration of paperwhites and amaryllis for this Christmas season. All right, I think that's going to do it for me for this bit of the vlog. In fact, I think I might just end the vlog there. This is, like I said, this is an odd, busy week with Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is odd this year because we're not supposed to gather, so if other family members don't want to, but we still might Zoom, so I'm still making some things, so we'll see. So I may post on Thursday, I'm not sure, but hopefully on Sunday, the premiere this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, hopefully we will be decorating the tree and some things at Old Kings. So we'll be at Old Kings on Sunday, and so that should be fun. So there may be a vlog on Thursday, I'm not sure. You'll know because it will show up. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed today's odd little vlog, and I hope all the Americans this week will get to enjoy some sort of form of Thanksgiving, and remember to stay creative.